life as an American citizen is a constant uphill battle. We're just swimming upstream against the current every day in this country. Anytime you try to progress forward in some area of your life, you get shoved right back where you started because of something that is happening in this country that is outside of your control. For example, you get a raise at work and that raise doesn't matter because your rent's gone up, your car insurance has increased substantially, your groceries cost more, everything is expensive. So all that raise did was cover the inflationary burden that we are constantly under as American citizens. You don't have more money now. Your life isn't better for it. You can't do more with that money because your bills have gone up. You try to get your health under control, so you're eating clean, you're drinking your water, you're taking your supplements, you're eliminating toxins, and you still get sick because there's pesticides all over your vegetables, because the water you drink is polluted, the air you're breathing is polluted, because there's carcinogens in your shampoo and your lotions and your blanket fabrics. You try to do something about your mental health to improve it, try to better yourself as a person. So you're going to therapy every week and you're reading the books and you're, listening to the mental health podcasts. And yet your mental health is still in the shitter because you're in survival mode all the time because you're under chronic stress from financial strain or from the anxiety of all of the things that are happening almost every day in this country. It's 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. All of the time. You try to pursue something to improve your life, and America as an ideology is like, nope, and shoves you right back where you started. And this isn't negative or pessimistic thinking. This is the reality of being an American citizen today. I mean, how many of you out there are making more money today than you have ever made in your entire life? And you are doing worse financially than you were 10 years ago, or at the very least doing the exact same financially. It's like the only reason that we're pursuing anything now is just so that our life doesn't get worse. This is what we mean by the American dream is dead, because trying to pursue anything to make your life better doesn't make your life better. It either makes your life exactly the same or it's just a little less shitty than it would be if you had done nothing. The idea of a good life in this country is so elusive to the average American citizen. It is constantly moving further and further away from us, and we have to keep running faster and faster just to get close enough, but we'll never actually catch it. And the only reason that we're running towards it now is because the further away it gets, the worse our life gets. So we're running just so that our life won't get worse. The other day my son asked me, I don't understand Trump, Mom. Why wouldn't a president want his people to be doing better? And I had to explain to him that this is the nature of a narcissist. They don't want people around them to do better. They want to do better at other people's expense. And it's wild that half the country voted for this. And I have to ask, are we great yet? Are you doing better? Are you making more money? Can you afford your life now? Can you afford the life that you dream of? Because if not, then what the fuck was the point?
These rent prices are unbelievable, bro. What? We've literally spent weeks upon weeks, days upon days, touring, looking at different places, and they done lost their mind, bro. Like, what have we came to as a society for rent to be $2,000 plus for a 1-bedroom apartment? Like, what are we talking about? And the square footage is under 1,000. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I know why the prices are high, but it's just like, it doesn't make sense, like just a basic cost of living, like just a place to sleep. You're talking about $2,000 for a 1-bedroom. I mean, I've seen a 2-bedroom go for $3,000. We got to figure something out as a country, as a whole, as a unit, whatever, bro. Like, this doesn't make sense. And they wonder why people are not having kids right now, bro. Like, it's expensive to just feed yourself. It's expensive to just breathe and just to be alive. It's very expensive, bro. But dang, I ain't never seen no prices this high. Like, before COVID, I mean, you can get a 2-bedroom for, a good price, way more affordable than what it is now. So I'm interested to see how things are going to, develop as this new administration get in office.
The American dream ain't real, never was. It's a bedtime story they tell the poor so we don't wake up and burn the whole system down. Work hard, play by the rules, and you'll make it. Yeah? Then why are millions of us barely scraping by while billionaires hoard enough money to end poverty 100 times over? They tell us it's about effort, that if you're struggling, it's your fault. Not the rigged economy, not the landlords jacking up rent 150% since the 90s, not the fact that minimum wage hasn't kept up with inflation since the 60s, and not the fact that half of us don't have $500 for an emergency while CEOs make that in a second. Nah, it's you. You just didn't try hard enough. I say bullshit. They say go to college, but a degree don't mean nothing when you're drowning in debt you'll never pay off. Student loans in this country total $1.7 trillion. And who profits? The same banks that needed bailouts while we all lost our homes in 2008. The same politicians that send their kids to Ivy League schools with no debt, no struggle, and no worries. It was never about giving us a future. It was about trapping us. They say, buy a house. With what? Wages ain't moved in decades. Rent so high, can't even save. The average home price is 5 times what it was in the 80s, and they want to tell us it's just inflation? No, it's greed. It's billionaires and banks buying up homes, turning neighborhoods into playgrounds for the rich, pushing working people into the dirt. They say just get a good job. Where? Factory jobs are all gone. Retail jobs can barely pay rent. Healthcare costs can wipe out your whole life savings overnight. They say the economy is booming. But for who? Because it ain't the single mom working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. It ain't the guy breaking his back in a warehouse with no benefits. And it sure as hell ain't the millions working harder than ever just to stay broke. And then they tell us, well, at least you have freedom. Freedom to what? To die because we can't afford insulin? To work ourselves to death while billionaires ride rockets to space? To choose between rent and food? That ain't freedom. That's a death sentence. The truth is, the American dream is a leash, a scam, a fantasy to keep us obedient, to keep us blaming ourselves instead of the real enemy, the ones who rigged the game in the first place, and they will keep us chasing that lie until the day we die, unless we finally say enough. We don't need to work harder. We don't need to suffer more. We need to take back what's ours. We built this country. We keep it running, and we're the ones struggling? Nah, not anymore. The dream is dead. Time to build something real.